Chapter 2. The world didn't end after the art room. It just cracked quietly around the edges. One moment at a time. First few days, Alara thought maybe, it would be different. She caught herself looking for him between classes, waiting for that half smile, that tired, real boy she had glimpsed under all the shine. Instead, Aiden Cross walked past her like she was part of the wallpaper. No hello, no nod, no acknowledgement. The memory of their conversation twisted in her stomach, turning sour. Had she imagined it? The way his voice had cracked, the way he had looked at her like he needed someone, anyone, to see him. The hurt. It hurt more than it should have. She hadn't even let herself admit she had a crush. Hadn't dared give the feeling a name. Now, it didn't matter. Because the boy she thought she had seen, the real one, under all the noise, clearly didn't want her to remember him that way. Every time he laughed a little too loud with his friends. Every time he brushed past her locker without so much as a glance. Every time he chose someone else over her in class. It hammered the truth a little deeper. She didn't matter to Aiden Cross. Their project. Their last art project was cruel fate. Partnered together, they worked side by side, pretending. Pretending the air between them wasn't heavy. Pretending the memory of the locked room didn't burn just under their skin. Alara caught him looking at her sometimes, quick, guilty flickers of his eyes, but he never said anything real. Not once. The distance between them grew thick and suffocating. Worse, she could feel something new curling inside her chest, not longing, not hope, but a hard, cold resentment. The summer break. Summer break loomed like a chasm. Aiden's name floated down the school halls, tied to rumors, scholarship offers, private academies, dreams too big for their small town. Alara packed her sketchbooks into a box and quietly told herself it didn't matter. That she didn't care, that she was better off alone. But some nights, when the world was still, she would sit by her window, hug her knees to her chest, and replay that moment in the art room. The softness in his voice. The way he had almost let her in. Almost. The goodbye she never got. On the last day of school, students swarmed the courtyard, shouting and laughing. Alara stood on the fringe, unnoticed, her backpack hanging heavy on her shoulders. She spotted Aiden easily. He shone the way he always did, laughing with a group of teammates, a duffel bag slung over one shoulder, his future already waiting. She didn't expect anything, not a goodbye, not a second glance. But still, some foolish part of her hoped. And then, his gaze found hers across the chaos. For a breathless second, he looked like he might move toward her. Might say something, might bridge the gap. But then a girl, bright and laughing, threw her arms around his neck, dragging him into a photo. He smiled for the camera. Perfect. Untouched. Golden. Alara turned away before he could see the way her throat closed up. The shift. That night, she stood in front of her bedroom mirror, took off her glasses, let her hair fall loose around her shoulders, stared at herself like she was a stranger. No more waiting, no more hoping. If she wasn't good enough to be seen as she was, then she would become someone untouchable. Not for him, not for anyone.